every day for the rest of your life. Who's an asswipe? Okay? Who does that? I have a stepbrother who said something to my dad like, you know, I told, you know, their dad passed away in the 90s. They lived with my dad, my step-siblings, for many, many years, ever since I was 2-3 years old when the divorce and remarriage occurred because of, you know, a little bit of secret relationship going on, hanky-panky, and that's a fact. If you do the math and you're human, you know something was going on. Everyone tries to cover it up and live a lie, which is how they wound up in an orchestrated way. If you keep perpetuating a lie, the universe will create a lie. That's someone else's theory. So anyway, but they got a good lie because they got to enjoy a lot of money. That's stolen. That's right. Stolen bread. So my stepbrother was saying one time when I had to reach out in desperation because of what was unleashed upon me here, and he's like, I told you didn't, you know, he didn't say your dad. He should have said your dad because it is my dad and my sister's dad. He's like, am I going Broad Street? Make it right? I have a Bluetooth invisible handler. So, anyway, he said something like, I told Dad, you know, well, remember I was throwing snowballs at police cars and Dad had to come pick me up in the police precinct. It's like some old Andy Griffith show. First of all, in Delaware, even during my upbringing, no one cared about a kid throwing snowballs at a police car. Second of all, the person telling the story is someone who is a little bit Nazified himself. He's like a Nazi. He would not be throwing snowballs at a police car. He is like a policeman, kind of, but worse, one who kind of fronts as one. And I'm sitting there like, I don't think so. I do not believe this story at all. We have storytellers, people who string together stories for some weird reason. And again, my dad would be someone who would be like, oh yeah, I remember that. He doesn't, he's passed away now. He doesn't remember that. But he would say it just to go along with the story or to just sort of appease, you know, my stepbrother at the time. Like, or he would question like, did we do that? I'm old enough now where it's possible I forgot. You would remember if you had to pick up your second wife's son for throwing snowballs at the police. You would remember that. Especially where I come from. People generally were basic, average, law-abiding citizens, like just your normal people. We were normal. That is some scene out of Andy Griffith or Beaver the Cleaver. Are we going straight? Now, see, Wells Fargo, the FAR is completely dimmed. When I passed by the other day, it was blinking. Wells Go. And the idea is some people saw Wells Fargo as, because this is very old school, it's like growing up a farmer in Dutchland. They would read it as, go, you know, you'll go far. They would actually see that as symbolism, as you'll go far if you bank with us. Now, how does a bank, other than having the best rates, which there are laws regulating extreme rates, how does one bank help you go far? Depends on who you're connected to, I guess. I know it's fake. I'm just saying, every single day, every morning, every day, I wake up, and this is what brains do because they need to work things out during the sleep. I've talked to therapists who are like, the brain often has to work out issues while you sleep. And stuff will come up every morning. So victims of extreme, murderous harassment wake up every day thinking, okay, I have a list of over 500 names, including old clients, people I knew, and then some. And every day I'm like, how do they go on about their lives? Are they proud of themselves? Do they feel good about themselves? You see what I mean? Every day. In my mind, it's like there's no way they can wake up and feel okay. There must be remorse somewhere. They must feel badly. They must wonder, like, was it okay that I went that far? Do people wonder, is it okay that I went that far against Sharon? That we played out that skit? Is that a little bit too far? Oh my God, she wrote a book. Is it in the book? Are our names in the book? I don't know. You'll have to buy it to find out. Do we want to go straight? You'll have to buy it to find out if your name is in the book. Making its way around the world in every language. Is your name in the either collection of essays? I also wrote there's two separate books, if you will, that are collections of essays. And they are separate stories. I have a million things, examples of what they pulled off without having any regrets or remorse. Well, I was metaphorically stabbed every day, in the back, in the heart, all over the place. I am so not kidding. If you could see how many wounds, I would just be a walking piece of line of flesh. I am so not kidding how bad this was. These people are disgusting cretins, and they have money. They have money to live better than most people live who are regular people in Philadelphia. They have money, ladies and gentlemen. They have real money. They have homes. They have cars. They go on vacations all the time. Some of them have swimming pools in ground, nice ones. And they act as if they earned it. They did not. They had so much help, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I needed to come out and say this because sometimes I don't want to say that every day, it's like, I don't want to give anyone satisfaction if their goal was to hurt someone so badly for the rest of her life. The only remedy, kind of, would be to constantly keep busy, and carrying around a camera is partially that, constantly keeping busy, so that your mind is put off on a different track. It is about pathology and where your brain stays, but in the morning you can't help it. You wake up and you can't believe these people did this, and you can't believe they go on rubbing it in on social media or otherwise. And even say I didn't really have noticeable, like, there are people who did things against me, but I didn't really talk to them, and many years later thought I'd reach out through social media, but they won't friend me, so they're guilty. If they weren't guilty, they would be like, oh,